Statistics 8. Gradually we'll move on to study Young's double slit experiment for interference of two waves, light waves. But before we do that, we need to have a few understanding about certain terms, new terms like intensity, coherent source, relationship between phase difference and path difference. So let us begin with intensity. Symbol is I. And now what it is, the intensity of electromagnetic wave. What do you mean by electromagnetic wave? I had explained to you they were produced due to an electric field along a y-axis and a magnetic field along z-axis. When the electric field and the magnetic field both were changing with respect to time, a disturbance was moving along x-axis. That disturbance is a wave that was called electromagnetic wave. An electric field along y-axis changing with time means like this. A magnetic field B along z-axis also changing with time. When both the fields interacted at this point in space, a disturbance was moving along x-axis. That disturbance was called electromagnetic wave. And the electromagnetic waves are radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, that is from VIB, GYOR, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Eye is sensitive to these colors. Then ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. These are all electromagnetic waves. The frequency increases to this side and the lambda increases to this side. Means lambda of radio wave is maximum, lambda of gamma rays is minimum. If you look at this side, frequency of gamma rays is maximum, frequency of radio waves is minimum, right? So now coming back to intensity. Intensity of electromagnetic wave is defined as the amount of energy passing through unit area in unit time. What do you mean by this? This is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter. So this area is equal to 1 meter into 1 meter, that is equal to 1 meter square. Now energy is passing through this area, passing through this unit area. How much is passing in 1 second? How much energy is passing through this area in 1 second is called intensity. So it is energy per unit time per unit area. So how to rewrite this? I can bring this time to the denominator. So this becomes this. I rewrite it as energy over area into 1 over T. This I multiply, I also divide, so I have not made any changes to arrive at a new formula, that is intensity is energy density into velocity of electromagnetic wave. Now look, I bring this length and keep it here. So this becomes energy by area, this length comes here. So I am left with this length by time. By doing so, what happens is this area into length. We know area into length is equal to volume. So energy by volume, and length divided by time is nothing but speed. Now look at this. What is this? How much energy is associated per unit volume? How much energy is associated per unit volume? That is energy density, and length by time is nothing but speed of electromagnetic wave, which is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So your intensity I is equal to energy density into speed of the electromagnetic wave. Means energy passing through unit area per unit time is equal to energy density into this. This is constant. So if energy density is more, the intensity will be more. Now let us then go to coherent source. Coherent source. Let me tell you once more here. Energy in your +1 classes, we had derived energy. Unit of energy was joule. and and we knew 4.18 joule was equivalent to 1 calorie. The heat energy is expressed in calorie. This is your mechanical energy, right? Now 4.818 joule, that is nearly 4.2 joule, is nearly equal to 1 calorie. That is what we studied in the previous class. Now coming back to coherent source of light. Coherent source of light. Coherent, identical. Now there are two sources of light. Two sources of light are called coherent if both have same wavelength, and wavelength you know is the distance from this point to this point, lambda, or you can say the distance from here to here, from this crest to crest, is also lambda. From this point to this point is also lambda. From this point to this point is also lambda. This point to this point is also lambda. Means this point and this point, they are identical in phase. So it is the distance between one particle and the very next particle which is identical in the state of vibration. That distance is called lambda. You can say from here to here also is lambda, because this point and the very next point that is identical to this is this. So the distance between them is also lambda. Now if both the waves have the same wavelength, both have same frequency, and both have the same phase, or some constant phase difference, then you say the two sources are coherent, and they are represented as y1 is equal to a1 sin omega t, y2 is equal to a2 sin omega t plus phi. Look, this represents a wave of amplitude a1, this represents a wave of amplitude a2, omega, and omega, we know omega is equal to 2 pi nu. So since omega is same, the frequency is also same, right? Now and then coming back to a relationship between phase difference and path difference. This will be used while discussing Young's double slit experiment. Look at, this is a wave. This distance is called a lambda. Means the particle here and the particle here are in the same identical state of vibration. So this distance is lambda. A path, that is a distance, a path. Now the angle is 2 pi. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by how lambda is equivalent to 2 pi? How lambda is equivalent to 2 pi? By the time the disturbance has traveled a distance lambda, by the time the disturbance has from here to here has traveled a distance lambda, this particle has gone up to this point, come down again to this point, and again back again. Means by the time it travels a distance lambda, this has vibrated once. This has vibrated once. The same thing I had explained to you in oscillations in your +1. What was this? An object here was moving in a circular path. This was a screen. As the object was moving, when light was coming from this side, its shadow was here. When this particle comes here, the shadow is here. When the particle comes here, the shadow is here. When this particle comes here, the shadow is here. Now this particle comes to the other side. Light is also falling from this side. Now this particle is here. So the shadow is here. This particle is here. Now the shadow is here. This particle is here. Now the shadow is here. This particle is here. Now the shadow is here. This particle is here. Now the shadow is here. Again the particle comes to this side. Now the shadow is here, the shadow is here. So when this one moves one complete circular path, its shadow vibrated once like this. Look, this angle is 360 degree, that is same thing as 2 pi radian. So lambda is equivalent to 2 pi radian. lambda, distance, a path, is equivalent to this much of a phase. So unit distance is equivalent to 2 pi by lambda. So any distance x is equivalent to 2 pi x over 2 pi by lambda times x. So given a path difference, how to convert it into phase difference? It will be, you have to multiply this x with 2 pi by lambda to get it converted to angle, that is phase. Similarly, here lambda is equivalent to 2 pi. So 2 pi is equivalent to lambda. So other way, you can say 2 pi is equivalent to lambda. Unit angle is equivalent to lambda over 2 pi. I come from 2 pi to 1 by dividing this by 2 pi. So I have to divide on this side also 2 pi. So any angle phi is equivalent to lambda by 2 pi into phi. This much angle is equivalent to this much path. Means given an angle, how to convert to path, you have to multiply the value of that angle with a constant quantity that is equal to lambda by 2 pi. We will be using this also this conversion while studying Young's double slit experiment for interference of two light beams.